Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on planets and their best positions. In my last video, I did discuss about the planet Mars and the best position of Mars in terms of whether it's a benefic, whether what house it is placed in, what are the aspects, what are the conjunctions, when it gets exalted, what's the mula trikona, what's its own sign, what are the effects of all these positions, and what it means to a birth chart where it is placed. And today we will be discussing about the topic in reference to the planet Moon. Now, Moon, as you know, is a significator of several things, and out of which one of the important things is about emotions. Moon rules over our emotions, our mother, our basic upbringing, our nurturing. So these are the significators of Moon. And when Moon is not well placed, it is considered that the significator, you don't get a good result of Moon, meaning which the karakas or the significators of the planet Moon are not well provided, so as to say, or these karakas become a challenge, which I just discussed: peace of mind, comfort, basic education, nurturing, mother. All these become a challenge when Moon is not well placed in a birth chart. Moon is extremely important. As a matter of fact, certain scriptures say that if the Moon is weak or not able to give good results, it can become a major malefic, even more malefic than the planet Rahu. Some also mention in the scriptures, or references been given in the scriptures, that in case Moon is not well placed or it's not giving good results, it can destroy several other Raja Yogas, or it can even destroy the good effects of the other planets, so as to say. So Moon is extremely critical, and that's been mentioned in the scriptures, in the Shastras. And like I said, Moon rules of the mind, water, rainwater, mother, peace of mind, comforts, nurturing. Moon is also related to love of poetry. Moon is also related to love of arts and music. Moon is also related to love of jewelry. And Moon is extremely attractive. It is believed, and it's mentioned in I think it was the Agni Purana, that Moon is so attractive that it can attract any female, or any female can easily get attracted to the planet Moon. And that's the reason why, if you would have seen my earlier videos on one mythological story on Moon, of course I don't consider it mythology because it's true as far as I'm concerned, about how Moon seduced the wife of the planet Jupiter, which is Tara, and that's because of the magnetic personality of Moon. That's its ability to attract any woman. That's the reason why Moon has 27 wives. Daksh Prajapati's 27 daughters are married to Moon, and Moon loves Rohini out of those 27, and that's the reason why Moon's other wives are unhappy about it. Well, that's another story, and we'll discuss about it some other time. But these are the karakas of Moon, which I was just discussing. And like I said, in case Moon is not well placed, all these karakas or the significations do suffer, and it's always a challenge for a person with a weak Moon or a afflicted Moon or a bad Moon in his chart. So when does Moon give best results, or what is the best position of Moon? That's what we are going to discuss today in this video. And as far as considering the best positions, you have to look at a chart and see whether it's a malefic or a benefic, as per the rules given by the great sages, as to when a planet becomes a functional malefic or a functional benefic for a birth chart, that it's very easy to find out how afflicted it is, meaning which is it conjunct with any malefic like a Mars, or is it conjunct with a planet like Rahu or a Ketu or a Saturn? All these malefic planets can afflict moon severely. Is there an aspect on moon? Sometimes malefic planets can aspect the moon, and that is the reason why moon loses its power to do good. And all these significations which we just discussed earlier do suffer, and a person has challenges in those areas in his life all through his life, in case there's an affliction or an aspect, or in case degree wise if moon is weak, or in case degree wise moon is very old age, meaning which it doesn't have the strength. And as we all know that unless a planet has good strength, it's got good positional strength, meaning which it's placed very well in a chart, it's a benefit for that person. It's got benefic aspects of meaning which has got aspects of benefic planets like a Jupiter and a Venus. All these things make moon provide the benefic aspects of moon, meaning which provide the significations of moon for a person for which the moon is very nicely placed. So we have to see all these things. No bad affliction, no conjunct moon with any malefic, no weak moon, meaning which low degrees or high degrees. High degrees would consider a moon old age and not good at all, meaning which it cannot give good results. Or if it's not a functional benefic for that chart, if it's a functional malefic also, then it will give bad results. And the most important thing which we have to see here is whether moon is exalted or it's debilitated. What zodiac sign is it? Before exaltation, let's discuss whether it's an enemy sign or a friendly sign. Of course, moon does not consider any other planet as its enemy, but other planets may consider moon as its enemy. So if moon is placed at the time of birth in a zodiac sign which considers moon as its enemy, then of course moon gets afflicted and it's not able to give good results in terms of the significations we just discussed in the earlier part of the video. But most importantly, we'll discuss also about the exaltation and the debilitation of moon. And moon gets exalted rather at 3 degrees of Taurus, of the zodiac sign of Taurus, and that is the deepest exaltation sign of moon, and that's considered to be the best position of moon. And of course, I'll repeat, considering the fact, do not forget to take into consideration whether it's a functional malefic or a benefic in a chart, whether it's afflicted or not by other malefic planets, either by conjunction or by aspects. And whether another thing which I just forgotten, which I'm going to just state here, is that it should not be combust as well, meaning which if it's too close to the planet's sun, it loses its power and it again cannot provide the significations, the good significations, what it's capable of. So make sure that it's not combust, meaning which it's not very near to the planet's sun. And also it is also called Amavas dosha, when moon and sun are situated in one zodiac sign, means that they were too close, and it's an Amavas dosha, meaning which moon completely loses its power to do good, and it spoils that house wherever sun and moon are conjunct together. So all these things have to be taken into consideration before considering the best position of moon, meaning which when moon gets exalted, and like I just said, that moon gets exalted at 3 degrees of Taurus, means that it's its deepest degree of exaltations. Of course, moon is exalted between 0 degrees of Taurus through 3 degrees of Taurus, but it's at its deepest exaltation point at 3 degrees of Taurus. And so just to give you an example, if it's at 1 degree of Taurus, it's still exalted, but it may not be able to give best results as compared to when it is at its deepest exaltation point, which is 3 degrees. And beyond 3 degrees, meaning which between 3 degrees and 1 minute of Taurus through 30 degrees of Taurus, it's not considered exalted technically. So a lot of astrologers, you'll see, will look at a chart and say, oh, well, moon is in Taurus, so it's exalted. No, moon is only exalted between 0 degrees and 3 degrees of Taurus. And 3 degrees is its deepest and the best exaltation point. Beyond that, it's not exalted. However, it's in its Mula Trikona sign, which is also a second best position of moon. It may not be the best, but it's second best, which means that it still has the ability to give you good results in terms of the significations of the karakas we just discussed. But of course, once again, look into whether it's a functional malefic or benefic. Look at the Ashtak Varga chart. Look at whether it's combust or not. Look at whether it's afflicted or not, either through conjunction or through aspect. Look at all these things before you come to a conclusion whether moon can give good results or not. So yes, the second best position of moon is its Mula Trikona sign, which is between 3 degrees and 1 minute of Taurus through 30 degrees of Taurus. And then the third best position of moon is when it's considered to be its own house, which in Sanskrit is called Swasthana. And that happens when moon is between 0 degrees and 30 degrees of the zodiac sign of Cancer. And of course, all those same rules apply which I just described to you. It should not be combust, it should not be a functional malefic, it should not be aspected by a malefic, it should not be conjunct a malefic. So all these factors have to be taken into consideration and then come to a conclusion whether moon is well placed in a chart or not. So yes, the third best position of moon is 0 degrees through 30 degrees of the zodiac sign of Cancer. So and then let's discuss about what is a poor position, what the bad position of moon. Well, the bad position of moon is one, of course, when it's a functional malefic for a chart, or if it's afflicted, or if it's combust, or if it's in an enemy sign. And also the poor position, the worst position of moon is when it's in its debilitation sign. And when does moon get debilitated? Moon gets debilitated between 0 degrees and 3 degrees of the zodiac sign of Scorpio. Just like it gets exalted between 0 degrees and 3 degrees in the zodiac sign of Taurus, it gets debilitated between 0 degrees and 3 degrees in the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So that's the worst position of moon. And it reaches its deepest debilitation point at 3 degrees. So just to give you an example, in case moon is at 1 degree of Scorpio, it may not be as debilitated, or it may not give as bad a result as compared to 3 degrees of Scorpio when it at its deepest debilitation sign. So 3 degrees of Scorpio is its deepest debilitation sign. And then beyond 3 degrees, it still is in a bad position, but it's not Nicha or debilitated. So technically, you will see, I mean, you would come across astrologers which will say, okay, well, moon is placed in Scorpio, and although it may be placed at 22 degrees of Scorpio, they may say, well, it's debilitated. No, it's not debilitated. It's only debilitated between 0 degrees and 3 degrees of Scorpio. And beyond 3 degrees, which means 3 degrees in 1 minute through 30 degrees of Scorpio, it's a bad position. It's the second bad position of moon. Of course, I will definitely say that it's bad. And all this, what I'm telling you, is from the Shastras. It's from the ancient scriptures, so it's not a figment of my imagination. So yes, 3 degrees in 1 minute through 30 degrees of moon in the zodiac sign of Scorpio is not debilitated, but it's a bad position, a second bad position of moon. So please remember that. And of course, the other bad positions of moon could be when it's in its enemy sign. So don't just come to a conclusion by looking at moon and its placement in a zodiac sign of Taurus and Scorpio. Make sure you have studied the degrees. What are the deepest exaltation points and what are the deepest debilitation points? What are the Mula Trikona points of the planet moon? And what are its swasthana, or its own houses? Or what are the signs where it's placed in its enemy signs, and then come to a determination as to what is the best position or worst position of moon, what kind of results moon can give in a birth chart. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and in the meanwhile I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.